Hi folks, and welcome back to another Travels of Red Rover. I'm Shawn.
And I'm Corine.
And I know we're in Argentina, but other than that, where are we, Corine?
We're at the Glacier National Park of Argentina, Perito Moreno Glacier, and we're going to do some viewpoint photography. It's pretty well set up for, viewing by everybody on a platform, so we're not probably going to get anything too extremely creative.
No,
here.
It'll be pretty much the same as everybody else gets it when they come here to shoot. The glacier is cracking and breaking behind us. It's pretty exciting. So with a little luck, maybe we'll get some pieces of ice breaking off.
Here at the glacier, they have these metal walkways and platforms for viewing, so it gives you really nice viewpoints. There's elevators for disabled people, and you can either choose to walk the ramps or come down on stairs. There's the edge of the glacier there, and back behind some lovely mountains. I believe this is one of the glaciers that's continuing to grow even now in the 2023.
So I just finished doing a panorama of the ice. I had to wait until the lighting came back a little bit. The clouds are having the light come in and out. Shot on manual mode to control the exposure, and the grading is really kind of difficult with the tripod. I wish I'd brought in a couple pieces of wood to have put down to give my legs a little bit more stability. But otherwise, I think it went pretty well. So there's a lot of fog out there, and in setting up the panorama, I used the mountain that I'm currently showing you on the right-hand side, and then panned all the way across the ice to show the mountain on the left-hand side as the sort of bookends for the panorama. I cut out a lot of the foreground, so really the bottom of the panorama is just the edge of the ice. And I actually took quite a bit of sky in, because there's some interesting mountains in the background there where the glacier is coming down through. They may or may not show up depending on how foggy it was while I was shooting the panorama. So hopefully they will show up a little bit. There's often beautiful little light effects occurring. The other challenge with the panorama is if the light changed while I was shooting the panorama, it'll look really odd. So hopefully I got one where the light stayed consistent from shooting from one side to the other. So very, very beautiful photograph. Lots of detail in the glacier. The glacier is incredibly detailed, which makes it really wonderful. And of course, we've got the blue ice down here in the front of the glacier, which is really just absolutely gorgeous, and the sun's kind of glistening off it. So hopefully all that will come together in the panorama.
We're here on a slightly overcast day, so the light is not too harsh, not too bright against the white and blue of the glacier, so it's making the exposure a lot easier to do than on a bright sunny day. Unfortunately, we don't have a clear view way up the glacier to the other smaller glaciers on the hillsides, and we just can see some of the nearby hills over here, but it's still good for doing lots of exposures of the detail of the glacier. So we've walked down to one of the lower viewing platforms that gets us a little more level to the top edge of the glacier. And down here you can see some of the icebergs that have calved off the glacier. Right now I'm doing a photograph that's mostly focused on the blue iceberg down there on the corner and the edge of the glacier in the front. And one of the things that's been interesting is that in a portrait orientation, you have the dark water at the bottom, and then you have the dark forested hills behind, so that the icebergs and the glacier show up very white with a band of dark at the top of the picture and a band of dark on the bottom of the photo. That's in portrait orientation. So this is the view from the back of the camera. It's a little bit on the dark side, so I'll show you the picture now.
So Corine and I took the local tour boat out to see the glacier up close. One of the things that you really can't see when you're on the platforms is just how uneven the glacier is. It looks much more even across the top, and when you get out of the boat, you see how really uneven the whole glacier is. So the boat ride was a really great experience, but as you can see, there were a lot of people on board. Also a lot of noise. So the following are some videos that we took during our trip on the boat, and what follows that are some of the photographs that we took. We hope you enjoy them. Well, one thing I know for sure, it's a great thing to get here early.
Well, at least today the weather cooperated early on. It wasn't too windy, and we had a little bit of breaks in the clouds. It's getting colder as the day goes on.
It's starting to snow.
And the clouds have been coming through, so some of the views are not as good.
Yeah, and although we've got a little tiny bit of sun now, and we might have for a little while, the sun sort of disappeared about 20 minutes ago, and the wind started getting really strong. So
it's supposed to get quite blowy this afternoon.
One recommendation, if you choose to come here, Make sure you plan for about a 30 to 40 minute drive after you go through the gate. So they'll tell you how long it takes you to get to the park, which is about an hour from
El Capitan.
Calafate. But it takes you another half hour or so to actually get to the parking lot. The other thing I would suggest is that you get here early. Park opens at 8 o'clock, and the best light for us was probably right then. So as soon as we got here, which is about 8:30, we ran down and we got some great light. And as the morning's going on, it's starting to get a little bit too intense when the sun comes out. And of course, the weather's starting to close in. So get here early, plan your trip for about an hour and a half, hit the gate right at 8 o'clock, be here right at 8:30 if you can.
And the other thing is that if you're here early, you miss some of the buses. They start to show up later in the morning.
Oh my God, do they ever. About 10 o'clock, this place goes from pretty calm to absolutely crazy.
Well, we hope you like the views.
Yeah, and the views are beautiful. We saw some ice cracking, although we didn't see any big bergs fall off, but we sure enjoyed watching it and photographing this beautiful, beautiful glacier. Well, folks, we sure hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, please give us a thumbs up.
And if you'd like to see some more of our videos, we sure hope you will consider subscribing, and we appreciate everyone who has subscribed.
And as always, if you want to know when we release videos, hit that little bell button.
And we love to hear your questions and comments and thoughts. So if you have anything to share with us, please put it in the comment section down below, and we'll be sure to respond as soon as possible.
And until next time, bye for now.
Bye for now.